Welcome, my name is Tony Vega TV, and this is going to be my honest review of playing a 0 Hour on the day one of its release. So to start off this video, I want to say that this game is in early alpha, so I'm taking that into account, especially when I talk about the more technical things in the game, like graphics and sound. After looking at this through the eyes of someone understanding this is the devs' first attempt at a game like this, I want to let the devs know and potential purchasers of this game know that I honestly believe that the devs put a good job into making this game. Steam reviews will most likely rip it apart as they usually do for early access titles, but that's because that's what keyboard warriors do. This game has a ton of competition with games like Rainbow Six Siege, so it's going to be rough to get this game off the ground, but I strongly believe with a few years of polish and hard work from the devs, this game can be a cult classic or even a fan favorite of the genre, and even in its current state, I think it's worth the $10 to $12 it's priced at on Steam. Since that's out of the way, we're going to be breaking down this day one review into 5 categories: graphics, sound, movement, guns and gunplay, and at the end of the video, my overall opinion of my day one experience. So to start off with the graphics, this should be no surprise to anyone. They are very basic. It's an early access game. Now, basic isn't bad on ultra settings, but anything below it, and it honestly kind of looks like a mobile game, at least on the medium settings that I first queued up with. I made a huge mistake of playing on medium, and right away, chat let me know that the game did not look good. But after switching to ultra, I had 0 complaints from chat. Overall, the graphics need work, but they really don't take anything massively away from the game or the gameplay. So as long as you think that the game looks good, play on whatever settings you want, and honestly, they looked pretty good at ultra for an early access game. Next up is the sound. The sound effects in 0 Hour are fairly repetitive, but also quiet enough where I personally didn't have any issues with them. Chat kept bringing up that the squeaking of the doors was really loud, or the weird bass death noise that happens when you die was super annoying, but like I said, I didn't really notice them, so it didn't really matter to me. The squeak of the doors I could see being pretty annoying if you start to notice it, and I honestly expect them to change that to specific door types in the future, unless for whatever reason all the doors on all the maps are always squeaky, which is kind of unrealistic. I think the only thing that needs work sooner rather than later is being able to tell if the footsteps are above or below you, or what direction they're coming from. This is something that's fairly hard for games to do, so I'm not going to fault them for this since it is early access and it is a new publishing company. But at the end of the day, I think that is something that they need to address and work on immediately. So for movement, my initial thought was that this game is slow. Holy crap, is the movement slow. But after playing a few rounds, I found that it fits the style of the game, especially since the devs are trying to go for a very slow-paced game. They don't want you to be sprinting around corners or leaping off buildings or quickly rappelling down buildings. The rappelling is slow and the door opening is slow. If you want a fast-paced game, this is not 100% not for you. But if you don't mind taking the time to take it more serious and adjust to the slow-paced style of the gameplay, I honestly think you'll enjoy it. I know I did after the first 3 or 4 rounds. Now for the big one, that's probably why most of you are here: the guns and the gunplay. Overall, right away, I'm just gonna come out and say it: the gun selection is fairly limited. It feels like it's really hard to control any of the recoil of the full auto guns or even the kick of the shotgun. I really wish we had more choices for guns, but for early access, I think these kits are okay. It gets the point across and it gets the message of what they are trying to do across fairly well. I think the concept of the terrorists not being able to choose guns and they have to kill the counter terrorists in order to get different guns is kind of interesting, but it's also kind of unfair in my opinion. Maybe we could give them a weaker version of at least one of the guns, or give them more tool options to place down, make the maps a little bit more interesting in that aspect. The gunplay honestly feels super smooth, but the tilting is fairly similar to other games in the genre, so it's nothing different, but I think they could add certain aspects to the tilting to maybe make it a little bit more unique. Overall, I feel that this game has a bunch of potential, but it's up to the devs to carry the momentum and build off of the strong foundation of a game. It's going to be hard to block out all the haters, but it's the internet, and as professionals, I'm sure they are already well prepared to deal with some of the negative opinions on Twitter, on Steam reviews, on Reddit, everything like that. I think this game deserves a buy if $10 isn't a big wallet breaker for you, and if you want to play a game casually with your friends or randoms online while you de-stress from whatever competitive shooter or game you may be playing as your main game, this is honestly a good pickup, especially for $10 or $12. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick opinion video of 0 Hour. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on notifications so you know when my new videos go live, as the first 10 people to comment on them get extra tickets for the giveaways we do live on stream weekly, which include copies of games like Escape from Tarkov and soon to be Dead Matter. Once again, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.